welcome to NLP Power Hour, NLP Excellence Academy. Maria here and Jean. Okay, thank you for joining us tonight, everyone. Okay, I'm really excited about tonight. Jean and I have been working together for about a week now, and an NLP breakthrough for goal weight or for any purpose with me takes anywhere from 6 to 10 hours. We are sitting right at hour exactly 8, and we have almost finished her NLP goal weight breakthrough. Okay, so welcome and thank you for joining us. I don't know if there's anybody out there that I need to say hello to. However, just know I'm with you and hello. Okay, so welcome. Okay, what is an NLP breakthrough? And why is it important to have a coach that's highly trained in NLP? Okay, what is different about us and how do we go about doing that? And we'll be able to answer any of your questions. So what I would like to do is introduce Jean, because I'm going to interview Jean so she can share with you what an NLP breakthrough is. And I'm just going to ask questions, and this is Jean's show tonight, because she has done an excellent job of putting in the work that she has to put into, and it hasn't really been that much work, has it?
No,
okay.
It's
Has it been kind of easy, actually?
Yeah, it is. It's
Okay.
not as hard as I thought it was going to be. It wasn't as detailed as I thought it was going to be. So it was quite easy.
It actually really is easy, isn't
Yeah.
it? Okay. I have a lot of salespeople, by the way, tell me that I make sales look really easy. Okay. So let's do this. Okay. Okay. Would you mind sharing with the audience, and would it be okay with your unconscious mind to be aware consciously, that you will share with your audience what you believe an NLP goal weight breakthrough is? If you wouldn't mind sharing with the audience. What is an NLP goal breakthrough within your world of up to this point, what you have experienced?
What I've experienced so far is nothing what I expected. I came in with a different goal, but honestly, it was a lot more deeper than what I expected, and it really opened up my mind. And I know what they say, the emotional baggage. It really, that's what it actually came about. It was more of an emotional baggage, and which actually it resulted to a lot of my weight gain over the years. And I thought it was just because it was just, the food that I'm eating or all that stuff. But it has a little bit, but it was more in the mind, because I was carrying so much emotional baggage that it was outwardly was the food that I was taking, and it just wasn't connecting to where that was harmful for me. So what the breakthrough with this whole week for me was just like years and years of pent up emotional, something that was unconscious about it, that I didn't even think that was really harboring inside until Marie actually used her techniques and brought it out of me, and really made me look really, within myself, and just realize what was the real problem. And so I found that out.
Isn't it like the problem is never the problem? There's always a greater problem. So the nice thing about the NLP goal weight breakthrough is we uncover, because all answers for Jean are in Jean. I don't have the answers. What I do have is the know-how of questioning to get to the highest intention, okay? Because the problem's never the problem. My goal is to find that one problem That if we lose that problem, we lose all the other problems.
That's right.
And we are being very, very successful in doing that. So if you told somebody, okay, hi, I have an NLP coach, okay, and she's coaching me for goal weight, how would you like sum it up really quickly for somebody what an NLP breakthrough is on goal weight?
It's actually within yourself. You have to find the that energy or whatever's the root problem that you carry on within yourself to actually come in terms with yourself. And as far as the weight, it all comes together because it's like a domino effect. So once you find within yourself the root issue, everything else will start to actually, wash away. So this week, I've actually been sleeping a lot better. I'm more focused on all the food. I'm actually conscious. Before, I used to eat everything. Anything, I'll open my fridge, I'll eat anything, whatever's in there, or go to the nearest store and eat whatever. But now I'm actually realizing what I'm actually putting in my mouth. I'm proportionalizing food. Before, it wasn't something that I would just, count or keeping myself accountable. Now that I am. So focus is now what I've been doing, because I realize now throughout this whole breakthrough is I have to focus and be dedicated on like what I'm actually putting in my mouth and what I'm doing to actually more conscious about, because it really affects everything else, my sleep, my energy, my thinking process. I'm just not letting things just slide by. I'm actually more self-determined and more self-confident on my action, because it really does have a big issue within myself. So,
May I ask a question?
yes.
Okay. How much of the breakthrough time, because we're right at 8 hours now, okay? And again, most breakthroughs are 10 hours or less, some a little bit more, just in hours invested. How much of that time have we talked about watch what you eat, exercise? So like magic, after releasing major negative emotions, how magical is it that Jean can just start doing the right things without being told to do the right things?
It came instantaneous. We really didn't talk anything about fitness training, or what I would assume like most weight loss programs, you're out there with a fitness trainer, you have to, work all these routines. None of that. We really did not talk anything pertaining to weight loss. It was actually just going into my mind and taking out all the emotional baggage that caused all the effect throughout the rest of my life to actually, as they say, emotional eating. That is actually the root cause was for me to get back in shape, to get back to eating right, to get back holding myself accountable, to make sure that I'm not there eating for 12 people.
And we didn't talk about any of this, by the way, during the breakthrough session, okay? None of this. So by releasing major negative emotions, and we're going to go down that one, we'll talk about maybe each one specifically for our audience so that they can understand that it's not a typical therapy. It's not a typical hire this weight loss coach because you know what? It's something on the outside that I'm not doing. How we do it is we will fix us on the inside. Okay, before we get to how we do it, because we're going to talk about that in a minute, okay, so we haven't talked anything about weight loss, have we? Or
No, we
goal
haven't.
weight?
No, we haven't.
We haven't, okay. However, you seem to be doing the right thing now. Okay, so does it feel like you've had a big weight lifted up off of you?
I have just not even a week. In 3 days, I lost like 1.5 pounds already. So it wasn't anything with, dealing with weight loss. My body decided to just want to lose the weight.
Right.
So,
And this was very interesting because when she came in for her breakthrough, I always use metaphors, and the metaphor that I used with her is when it came to her goal weight. She's like, well, I don't want to lose weight too fast. Okay, well, first of all, the unconscious mind heard weight too fast. Okay, so if the unconscious mind thinks that she wants to lose weight too fast, it may not be healthy. So she says, I only want to lose X amount of weight. And I was like, okay, your conscious mind is trying to tell your unconscious mind what to do. May I ask you a question? Yes, I did an ecology check. And I was like, okay, if your unconscious mind knows exactly the perfect blueprint of total healing and wellness, and if your unconscious mind is like a limitless computer, okay, and your conscious mind with 11 million bits of information coming at us per second, 11 million bits of information coming at us per second. Consciously, we can only handle chunks of that information. Okay, about 134 bits of chunks. Okay, so with that information coming at her, and I was like, okay, so if your conscious mind can only remember 134 bits of chunks information at one time, and a lot of it is distorted, deleted, and generalized, and your unconscious mind is like the computer, like the limitless computer, like that is the bomb, that's the one that makes the heart beat, the hair grow. The unconscious mind is your computer. Okay, I was like, how is it? Because I compare the conscious mind to a beeper and I compare the unconscious mind to a computer. And then I asked a question. How is it that you would allow the beeper to tell the computer what to do when it came to how much weight one should lose? And what was your response about that? We were at the front door, I believe you were just coming in. Because it was just a quick reframe. We call it a reframe.
oh yes, she just said, just let it go. Just
Let your unconscious mind, who has a perfect blueprint of total health and wellness, would it be okay to let your unconscious mind to do its job and ask your conscious mind to get out of the way and just let your unconscious mind know exactly what your perfect for you fitness, well-being is? Total health and well-being, your unconscious mind has a perfect blueprint of that. Will you allow, and be aware consciously, will you allow your unconscious mind to just do what it has to do? And
Yes.
just trust your unconscious mind and ask your conscious mind to get out of the way. Did we not do that right at the front door?
Yes, you did.
Okay.
Yes.
So sometimes we try to override what the unconscious mind is already programmed to do. Okay. So that is a perfect example. Now, have we cried? Have we shared tears?
No.
Have we? Okay. I think I've done more laughing during this breakthrough than any other breakthrough.
Right.
So is it fun? Is it exciting? What can people expect if they hire an NLP coach to do a breakthrough? What can they expect? What's the experience? What has it been like for you? Is it what you thought it would be?
No, actually, it was fun. I had no expectation. There was no crying, and we're always laughing and joking. She's always, redirecting me by asking me questions about my thought processing is. There were some times where it was a struggle. Like there was like some really deep-rooted emotions that I wasn't, I was just not able to just let go. And Maria just used certain techniques to just bring that out of me. And it was just rephrasing of the words. It wasn't like, I have to cry me a river. It
river, right?
was really some harsh memories that was really ingrained that I honestly have not even, and we even didn't even talk about that. And it wasn't, no event was discussed about it.
There was a learning there.
It was
so,
a learning.
So what we do, okay, is I taught Jean basically cause and effect, okay? The responsibility for change is entirely hers. I have the techniques, I have the technology, I have the expert know-how. And so when I said you will have your outcome guaranteed, the weight just melting away easy and effortlessly, the way it's supposed to melt away easy and effortlessly. Okay, that's just the gift of releasing all that other weight.
Right.
So the weight, that will just melt off easily and effortlessly. Okay, so the real weight maybe isn't so much just the fat content of the body. Okay, the real weight, where was that real weight at anyway? Was it real weight or was there any weight to that weight?
Emotional baggage, that's what it was.
It was emotional baggage.
It created a weight on me, and that's what happened was that emotionally was just I was just harboring a lot of emotions that I didn't think was in my conscious, and so now what's been happening is just it's going away. Like my actual physical weight, it's actually going away. I've lost 1.5 pounds in 3 days. I'm actually losing more already, and then I'm sleeping better too. So there's a lot of other effects that's happening while this is going on. Is before my body would only allow me to sleep 5 hours or less. I don't even need a timer or an alarm. My body would just get up and like 5 hours or less, and I'll be tossing and turning. This has been years and years.
Years and years of not being able to sleep a good night's sleep due to major negative emotions that were shoved down, repressed. She wasn't even consciously aware of, correct?
Right.
Okay. So when did you actually start sleeping well? Was it after, because we have worked together now for about approximately 8 hours to do this breakthrough. We got another hour left or so, okay? Yeah. And then there's the mentorship afterward, okay? So after about how many hours? Because the first thing that we did, I did a complete personal history, a lot of reframing. I'm looking at her words, her predicates. And when she says that she wants something, but it's away from what she doesn't want, it's just, okay, well, what would you like instead? And then it's just a simple reframe of reframing her to focus on what she wants, because when we focus on what we don't want, that's exactly what we're going to get. So it was an easy reframe, and we do it with words, and we laugh. And as a matter of fact, I even use this technique called logical levels of coaching, where I just scramble her strategy from the minute she gets up in the morning, and we laughed and we joked, and the whole time she didn't realize that her unconscious mind was saying, thank you, thank you, thank you, okay? So we were able to get her conscious mind out of the way, the critical faculty out of the way, the part of you that cares to distinguish between reality and fantasy, by laughing, by putting her in what's called the mid-brain, so that she is not in the fight or flight. It's the same place where you want to be when you go to the movie. We know that there's no such thing as the real Wonder Woman. We know that Superman cannot fly. We know these things. However, we go to the movie and we buy that popcorn and we get that Pepsi or that Coke, and the critical faculty is out of the way, and then boom, all the advertising starts advertising because the critical faculty is out of the way. So by laughing and joking and coaching is how we do change. Because once we're in the mid-brain, that great song that you love, and you just start singing it, before you know it, wow, I don't even remember driving, that mid-brain, that place where you are so safe, so secure, where the critical faculty is out of the way. So that's why we've had some very good, deep learnings that completes the change. So what Jean has been able to do, so that I can say what I've done for her. The first negative emotion we released was anger, okay, at the root cause. Okay, now, here's the beauty of it. Whatever words that she used, all I simply did was use her words, and I just asked, what is the meaning of certain words? Because the words, as I tried on her problem, how could this be a problem? Okay, how could we have inappropriate, unwarranted anger at whatever age that happened? Because when we go into anger, have you ever said, oh, he's acting like a 5-year-old child? Well, guess what? He probably had his first anger when he was 5. That's why he goes back to 5. Now we're grown women. That's inappropriate behavior to be at my age, at 60 years old, to act like a 5-year-old or a 3-year-old or a 2-year-old, or act like, from centuries ago, how they acted. That's inappropriate, unwanted behavior. Barbaric, okay?
Very, very barbaric.
So here's my whole point. We released anger, okay? And then we also released sadness. So anger has a lot of oomph to it, a lot of movement, a lot of energy. We call that sympathetic. Okay, so we release anger first because there's a big charge. People get into big problems sometimes because of anger, because it's inappropriate and they don't know how to manage the anger. Well, you know what? Let's just get to the root cause and let's just pop that baby right out. Okay, so anger, and then we did sadness. That's called parasympathetic. Parasympathetic comes with all kinds of things like depression, sadness, anything related to sad, parasympathetic. So to keep it balanced, boom, we release that oomph of the anger, the sympathetic, and then we go to the parasympathetic, which is the more sadness. It's a different energy. And then I decided to go ahead and release fear right away. So we did anger, sadness, and fear. Okay. At the root cause. After we released anger, sadness, and fear, were you able to sleep better, or when did that happen?
It was actually after we did all 3, because it was each and one of them were slowly going away, and it was releasing the weight off of my mind. So I was able to sleep much better. I didn't have to worry about anger, fear, sadness, because I don't feel that anymore. I don't feel whatever it was that caused those emotions, because, I don't know, Maria did her voodoo on me.
She did it to herself.
Oh, she used techniques. I call it voodoo because I have no idea, like, whatever it is, because this is all
There's a whole trail, especially
Yeah.
my favorite go-to logical levels of coaching. Okay, it's just reframing with tools and techniques. I've done a lot of contrastive analysis, and I've mapped across what she wants instead. I use a lot of metaphors. So what we're going to create, because neurotransmitter bathe every cell on the body. Neurotransmitter is eavesdropping on you 24/7 on all your cells. So it's my belief that when we clear out all the major negative emotions, and then today we did anger, sadness, fear, and then she came back and it was time to release hurt. Would you mind sharing what it was like to release hurt?
Oh my goodness, that was hard. That was very, very tough. And Maria did a technique where she knew I did not want to get out of it. I was very, very adamant not to get out of it.
She said, I do not want to release hurt. I have to have that. Mm-hmm. That is my power, basically.
Right. And yeah, it was a struggle, but she redirected something. I don't know, her words or something. I don't know what. I call it voodoo. But she did something.
NLP.
Like I didn't. NLP. I didn't have to talk about it. I didn't have to talk about why it happened, where, how. It was just there. And she just redirected the words that I was using to get my mind off of it. And the moment I started going backwards, she kept pulling me up to get me out of that mindset. So she pulled, and she was with certainty and certain words that I had to make sure in my
certainty. That's the key.
Right. yeah, I have to be sure 100% in my mind and myself that I do not want this out of me. So, which I told her, and she saw that I was struggling letting it go because it was obviously a huge part of me, but I wanted it out. And so she did the NLP and just a few phrases of words, redirecting me, getting my mind from having to think whatever it was that I was thinking. But
Whatever it was, because we don't even remember now.
right, right. So it was very, very powerful words. It's not like you're just spewing words. There is techniques and strategy that certain amount of words that will get your mind. I don't know the whole lingo to it, but yes. So with amount of certainty and 100% that it was actually gone, and so I after that whole session, I didn't have that emotional baggage anymore. I could tell because the effect made me feel like I was high. Like I wasn't even using drugs. It made me feel high. The light seemed brighter. Like the room, nothing was changed. Nothing changed in that room, but somehow the light felt it got brighter. I don't know what the hell it was, but I felt so much better. Like it was just so much of like taken off of me. It just felt so relieved, and I just felt I felt nice. I felt like I didn't have to use drugs for this. It's just simple words.
All with words.
All with words.
So when I said, okay, that all answers for you are in you and that you have a perfect blueprint of total health and wellness, and when I said all I'm going to do is ask questions and listen to words, okay, and give you other choices of words, because every word has a meaning to it,
Right.
and there's a structure behind every meaning of the word. Does it make more sense now?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
It does.
Okay, now let me share this with you. I'm going to grab this clipboard right here. This is out in the audience. This is your problem. This is your problem. Okay, when it came to hurt, Jean says, that is my problem. I'm keeping it. I need that. I am not letting go of my problem. And she fought for her problem. And myself, I said, let me try on that problem. How is it that she is holding on to this problem? And then bit by bit, grace by grace, she let the thumb up. And then, ooh, this little finger right here. And then it was like, ooh, boom, 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 boom. And then all of a sudden she's like, I do want to let go of hurt. I do want to let go of hurt. She thought she needed it. Okay, so how is it now that you were able to release hurt at the root cause? What was it in you that shifted? Why was that so valuable to you? Why was it so priceless to you to let go of that?
It was a part of me. It was what was part of me. It was ingrained, so deep rooted inside me that I didn't realize that it caused a domino effect in the rest of my life, not just the weight, but everything else. So looking out from within, I realized when Maria did her NLP strategy, I started seeing the negative effects of it.
Clearly seeing the negative effect.
And so and she knew I didn't want it, but somehow part of me was like, because it was, I don't know, built in my DNA, it's part of my roots or what have you, but it was built in me, and I just could not, she knew I wanted it out, and she could see that in me, but my body would not. It was grabbing hold for its dear life on that feelings and emotion. But her strategy, like I said, simple. The words that she used, I don't know what, it was just words. like I said, I didn't talk about anything of my past. I didn't talk about anything of the event. I didn't talk anything. There was no crying.
Zero content.
Nothing. It was
no crying.
There's no nothing. I was just like, oh, the room got brighter. Oh, this is great. Oh, I feel high. This feels good. So I'm just kind of waiting in my own whatever emotions. So I was like, oh, this feels great. So yeah, that's all it was. It was, and from thereafter, I slept good. I slept for a good 7 hours the next day. And after that, I just started feeling better about eating, about what I'm going to eat. With the next, start just putting certain things in my mouth to make sure that I'm conscious and aware of what it is that I'm putting in my body. So yeah, it's just, there's no crying. There's no like, cry me a river.
So a
over
lot of people are afraid to talk to a coach, a neuro-linguistic programmer, a practitioner, or a master practitioner. Okay, a lot of people are afraid to talk to a hypnotherapist because there's all these fears, these fallacies. A lot of people are afraid to hire a coach because a lot of people have been in therapy for years and years and years and years and years to talk about it. What we do is we fix it at the root. Whatever created it, there's a learning there, and now we own it. So she's done the work, I'm just the guide. So today she comes over and we do the final of the Big Five. We released what major negative emotion today?
It was guilt.
Guilt. Okay. All right. Now that was very interesting, wasn't it?
It was.
What was your learning, you think, about releasing guilt today? Whatever it is that you want to talk about, it doesn't have to be about your learnings of guilt.
Right.
But we had a whole process before we could even go into your timeline to release guilt, right?
Right.
Would you mind sharing with our audience?
So the learning outcome out of all that was self-acceptance and confidence and just letting it go. Just let it go. And just being confident and accepting and just accept it for what it is. So after all that, nothing was discussed about that event. Nothing. I didn't have to go into details, but I knew that guilt was really hard to let go because it was a big part of me, and it was what hindered me from a lot of stuff. But all it required was the learning process. It was just learning.
The positive learning.
Positive learning.
That's the key, the positive learning.
From looking out in, accepting it and just having that confidence and just moving on with it, because your emotions are going to eat you. If you're not already eating everything, your emotion is going to eat you. So it has. See, this is the session that we have. We're laughing the whole time. There's no crying. There's no. This is exactly the whole session.
This is what we do. We talk, and I listen to her words, and I jot down lots and lots and lots of notes. This is her breakthrough right here. I'm just writing some things, okay? And they're just words, and I see how they're organized, and I'm like, okay, well, this is her strategy. How is it that she would be speaking this way? And so through questions and her answering, and what does that really mean? So it's kind of like this. Now she knows what she wants. Okay, and if you stop, look, and listen, and you know what you want in this hand, but you got something else over here. Okay, think of it as gears, I think they're called cogs on a gear. Okay, so if you know what you want, and here's your cogs. Okay, right here, here's your cogs. Okay, and this is what you got. Okay, this is what you want, this is what you know that you want, this is what you got, but there's a cog missing here, and then, oh wait, there's two big cogs missing here. Okay, well, guess what? Boom, that's where it gets stuck, right there. Okay, so what we do is we take the words and we find out, okay, well, what does that mean? What's the structure behind that? Okay, that cog's fixed. Okay, We know what we want. Oh, what does that word mean? This, no pun intended. Okay, that cog was way broken down. Okay, so what word will give this cog wholeness so that it will give her exactly what she wants? What does that cog mean to you? What does that word really mean? What is the structure? That means that. It's a complex equivalent, okay? Okay, so now if you know what you want, okay, specifically, okay, and once we fix all the cogs, which means removing all major negative emotions, and the two fit together like a glove, now you will get your results and your outcome. And we do it through questions and words. So that's my on how we do it. And we've used a lot of timeline therapy. I've done a lot of techniques at the mastery level constantly throughout the entire breakthrough. So it's not like, okay, let me listen to your problem and let me give you advice. Run. I don't give advice. I don't have the right to do that. This is a grown woman here. Her unconscious mind has the perfect blueprint of total health and wellness. And this beautiful person here has all the answers inside. It doesn't come from the outside. Therefore, I didn't have to treat her with a pill. I didn't have to treat her with advice. All I had to do was listen and use metaphors and try on her problem. How is it that she could think this way? And why is she holding on so hard to her problem like this? I'm not letting her go. Impossible. And why did you want to hold on to her so desperately? Do you remember what you said?
No, I don't.
Something about it was her power.
Oh, right. No, because hurt was my fuel.
Oh, that's right, the fuel.
It was my fuel
It was
to
her
give me
fuel.
strength. And I'm like, why? That's fucked up.
Now, did I respect your model of the world?
Yes, you did. You didn't give me no advice. You didn't, you didn't give me any, it was just a
As a matter of fact, I said, listen, if you want to hold on to that hurt, if you do not want to let it go, do not let it go. You don't have to. That's entirely up to you. However, I believe with 100% certainty, okay, I believe with 100% certainty that anybody that you love, you would not want them to hurt, would you?
That's right.
Okay. So if it's not good enough for the people she loves, she doesn't want her people to have hurt because that is their fuel, okay, then why is it good enough for her?
Right.
Okay. And that was that. So I said, you don't have to let it go. And she's like, I'm ready.
Yeah.
I'm ready. Let's do it. And we did it.
We did. And that was great. After that, I saw a whole different view of life. I was just like, wow, this was great. And it was just like that. It was just like, and I just felt high. I felt great. I felt limber. I felt, I slept good again. So bit by bit, all those weight that was causing me, emotional weight that was causing me, was going away. Now I'm getting better results. I'm feeling better about sleeping. I feel better about, and the weight is actually leaving. And I'm not really doing much of it. It's not, before I used to stress out, I'm not doing enough sit-ups. I'm not hiking farther, like 15 miles. I'm not, it used to be this resume that I used to do, but now it's like, oh, this is just leaving me. Okay.
And I will say this, when she held on to her problem, which was hurt is my power, I'm holding on to it, okay? So when she, like, bit by bit, okay, just because she made a choice, a conscious choice to be at cause, not the effect, okay? I'm at cause, okay? So yes, I'm willing to release hurt at the root cause, okay? Once we were able to do that, okay, you said something about letting go of your problem and your hurt. That was, I think, a game changer for you.
It was.
What do you remember what that was?
it was like an oxymoron because um, uh, it, I can't really put it in words because I don't think her, I don't feel her. Like I see, like, because you took that out of me, all that has happened, I don't feel it. So phrases that you've said that bring, I can't associate.
Okay.
Associate
That
them
is
with.
100% certainty that she has released 5 major negative emotions at the root cause. I'm also going, so you heard it from her mouth, okay? We didn't even talk about what we're going to talk about. I'm just like, I'm going to interview you and just trust your
Right.
unconscious mind, and that's what we're doing. I want to take a break excuse me, I want to acknowledge, okay, see, I'm catching myself, okay? I want to acknowledge, because my unconscious mind is highly suggestive, okay? I want to acknowledge a few people up there, and then I want to talk about how we did this and what questions do people have, what questions do they have, what do you need to know, what do I need to know, and what did you learn from tonight? So let's say hi to a couple of friends. Would that be okay?
Sure.
Okay, so, okay, Sister Juliana, okay, highly certified in NLP, okay? Juliana's here. So if you're looking for a coach, she's a good one out of Chicago, okay? Oh, Brandon, thank you for watching. Darla Diaz, love her like family, thank you for watching. Melanie, thank you for watching. I hope you're doing very, very well, Melanie. Miss you, by the way. Miss you. Nancy Ryder, my sister up north, okay? Nancy, thank you for joining us. Appreciate it. Okay, so you have heard from a person who has released anger, sadness, fear, hurt, and then we released guilt today. 5 major negative emotions. What we're going to work on next is releasing shame. We're also going to work on releasing a limiting decision. Okay, somewhere she decided something that will limit her abilities. So we have 2 more timeline therapy techniques that I'm going to utilize with her, limiting decisions. Somewhere there's one major decision, that big problem, that when we remove it, it will open her up to limitless abilities. Okay, I also believe that it is going to open up her pineal, and I believe
The
that
third
she
eye.
will have sight, crystal clear sight. So that's going to happen. There's another technique that I will also be utilizing, and it is called a parts integration. When we have shock that happens, sometimes we have conflict, okay? You don't have it all the time, but you have it some of the time, conflict. So we're going to get her totally whole with a parts integration. And I've been utilizing a lot of hypnotic language with her, a lot of metaphors. The unconscious mind is highly symbolic. As a matter of fact, how many of you out in the audience know about tomatoes? You see, tomatoes, they are perfectly red tomatoes. And what do you think about tomatoes? What is it that's so special about tomatoes? If you could share with our audience, what is it about tomatoes?
Well, tomatoes knows exactly what goes inside their body. And with the right nutrients, they can grow to be red and ripe.
That's right, with the night nutrients, and it knows the exact amount to take in. You see, tomatoes are so perfect in every way. They know the exact right amount of sun to take in deep down. Tomatoes are so brilliant. They know exactly how much water to take in deep down. And tomatoes are so perfectly genius at being tomatoes that they know exactly how to grow. Just so perfect. Tomatoes are exquisite. Tomatoes are so exquisite because they know the most exquisite way to grow perfectly by taking in the exact right amount exquisitely. So, what do you think about tomatoes?
Tomatoes. They're great. They're very nutritious.
Have you had any tomatoes, just out of curiosity?
Yes, I had them in my salad.
You had them in your salad. How did they taste?
Scrumptious.
Scrumptious? Did they feel like they had just the right amount of moisture? Didn't they have just the right exact amount of water as you were tasting those beautiful tomatoes?
Yes, they were very fulfilling. They, enough fluid to keep me satiated, and it's great. You can use it as a juice, so you don't have to drink beers.
And if you don't have to drink beers, what would you do instead?
Have some tomato juice.
So we love tomatoes because they're just so perfect and exquisite in every way, because they know possibly what others don't know, and that's the exact right amount. And everybody knows about tomatoes being so exquisite that it knows how to bring in the exact right amount. So that's why we like to talk about tomatoes. Have we talked about tomatoes this week at all?
We just talked it now.
Okay, outside of tonight, have we talked about tomatoes?
Nope, we haven't.
We haven't? Okay. But we did talk about tomatoes last Tuesday, right?
We did.
Okay, awesome. Okay. So, by the way, 1.5 pounds. Okay, so we are on our way to her goal weight. We don't want to lose the weight, okay, because we don't want to find it again. So it's just gonna just melt,
Let it
and
ride.
melt, and melt, and melt, and melt until she knows exactly where her exquisiteness is to be totally fit and totally healthy. Okay, so now may we talk a little bit about how your life is going outside of what we've been doing. If you could, a big picture, what's going on now in your personal life? Has there been any changes, any shifts? Just share just with your audience, if you wouldn't mind, how this coaching has not only shifted by releasing major negative emotions, how it's had a shift in your life, if you wouldn't mind.
I just feel better, a lot better about myself. Like I said, I've been sleeping a lot better. I have a better positive outlook about like my daily activities, just like bringing out a lot of my skinny clothes that I wanted to try. I'm just a lot more energy too. I noticed a lot more. I'm able to do things more. I was just busy this weekend doing things. I'm not just, before I used to just lay around, play video games all day, and but now, I mean, I'm finding more energy where I'm, doing other errands, and now I want to try a different hobby. I want to try, so just to keep myself moving, so I'm not staying stagnant. I think, well, now, because I consciously, I'm now wanting, because this energy that I have, I'm able to actually do more stuff than staying stagnant and sedentary. Honestly, don't watch as much TV like I used to. I'm actually wanting to be outside more. So yeah. So
Have you shifted your attitude toward food at all?
Yeah, like I said, it was more effortless now because I don't feel eating as much anymore. I just don't eat as much. Before, I used to eat for 12 people. I was eating for the
12
country.
people.
I was eating for the country.
That's right. That's right.
And now I don't feel as hungry. I'll just eat a little bit here and there. And this is me becoming easier now. Before, I used to just be stressed out because, I'm not doing things the way the fitness industry wants everybody to do. So now I'm not even stressing out about it. I was like, I'm not hungry. Oh,
Okay, that's a major shift, by the way. I'm very proud of you for that. And I would like to share something about when you had your problem of hurt. Because that's the one she said, I'm not getting rid of it. I need it. That's my power. I'm not giving up my power. By releasing it, she empowered herself because she was at cause and not the effect. Okay? Because every time she allowed herself to be hurt and that was her power, that was actually disempowering. Okay, so when she got rid of hurt, I promise you, it looked as if she was bloated from the breast like this. And the more she held on to her problem, the more she would, like I could see, like it was like she was gaining weight right in front of me. And I said with 100% certainty, I know for a fact that you will fight to keep hurt, and I'm okay with that. However, think about the people you love the most. And if you want them to think that them hurting for the rest of their lives is powerful, that is their power, okay? If you really believe that hurt, that you want to give that to the next generation and the next generation, and all the people that you love, that you want them to hurt because that's their power. If you believe that 100%, then keep it. I'm ready to get rid of it. You know what happened? After the timeline therapy, when she had the learning, okay, I literally saw her go from here to like this. Whoop.
Yeah, my gut, like, it just
It's
kind
like, it was like somebody just poked a hole in her balloon and it went whoop. Okay, that was exciting for me. That was my evidence procedure by utilizing what's called sensory acuity, that it worked. And it was amazing. And by using sensory acuity, she went from light to dark. She felt lighter. Okay, it's almost as if she's floating, like she's on what I call a Colorado Rocky Mountain natural high because of the altitude. Okay, so that's what's happened. She's released all this weight, so she's high in altitude. Okay, and that's where she's going to be able to tap into her higher consciousness once we clear all this out. Okay, now we only have
jaw.
about...
You can see my jawline now.
Right. She's looking good too, okay?
No, look, dude, before I call this my gizzard.
Okay, so every coach out there, health and wellness coach...
I used to have a gizzard.
That's right. So I wish every health and wellness coach would learn neuro-linguistic programming. I wish that they would learn timeline therapy, because the fix never comes from the outside. I assure you, with 100% certainty, as certain as I knew that sun was out and shining bright tonight, with that 100% certainty, that is my evidence procedure. What I see, what I hear, what I feel. Okay, I know that the sun doesn't really smell a certain way. However, it does create some smells as the sun hits the metal. I can smell it. As it hits the cement, I can smell it. As sure as I know that sun is coming out tomorrow, okay, and I can feel the heat as I walk on the cement. As sure as I know that sun was out today, okay, that is my evidence procedure, and that's what we did with her. How will you know that you have released anger? And once she knew, because they matched that certainty, her evidence procedure, once they match, it was over. And again, we've only worked for about 7 hours total so far. Okay, so I'm really excited about all of this. Okay, now every coach out there, health coach, fitness coach, I promise you, if you learn the techniques behind neuro-linguistic programming, quick, fast changes, success right away, and then the gift is just the weight loss. But we actually fix it where it enters the neurology. If we could fix it before it even enters into the brainstem, how priceless would that be for you out there in the coaching world? Okay, so yes, everybody should learn NLP. Everybody should have an NLP expert. Everybody in business should have an NLP expert. Everybody in sales should be an NLP expert. Everybody should be an NLP expert. Here's the deal. Where do you learn it? You have to learn it from a school of neuro-linguistic programming. Okay, so this would be my moment to introduce you to NLP Excellence Academy. Why you, as a person who is going through this breakthrough, okay, just from your experience, would you share with the audience why you think that we need more NLP experts out there? Get certified and get trained. What's your take on that? What could you say to the audience? How priceless has it been to you? Or was there, what is the value, if you will?
My life, actually, because it's worth my life, because honestly, if I continue to go the path that I was going to, no doubt it was basically, I was slowly dwindling. I was close to having more health issues, more problem, and certainly that's going to end up a very bad way. So I believe that everybody needs coaching. We can't do everything on our own. We really can't, because I've tried it for many, many years. And it's always this yo-yo dieting and what have you. And the root cause of the problem is in our minds. And that goes with everybody. The thing that I've learned is when we were first born, the first organ that gets developed in our as a fetus is our brain, and then our heart, and then our nervous system. So it starts with the brain, and so everybody needs coaching, and we all need help. Emotional trauma, emotional, bad negativity, or even just to improve anything, because it really is a deep-rooted, ingrained negativity that we grew up since we were born, or even past
Out of the
that.
conscious awareness many times, shoved down, repressed down so deep. However, does the unconscious mind reveal everything for resolution?
It does. It really does, because it really opened up my mind, because it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I'm here to lose weight, and all the fitness gurus all want you to do this resume, but they forget this, because this is where it all was a problem.
And it's not about willpower.
Yeah,
it is not even about the commitment. It's about the commitment to a lifestyle change.
Right.
All change happens at the unconscious level. Okay, so next week, okay, we may not be going live next week. If we do, it won't be this fancy. It'll be me by myself, because my support staff, Chad the man, okay, is working another project for us next week. So if I don't go live next week, I'll let everybody know within a 24-hour period of time. I love these, and I like doing them, okay? So we are having a training. If you want to learn these techniques to help people with timeline therapy, with neuro-linguistic programming, to help coach them to success, to teach people that all answers for them are in them, that we don't give advice, that we are masterful listeners, and that we are gifted in helping people pull the answer out. And that's what she means by I pulled her. I pulled the questions out of her. Sometimes I had to get underneath the question, kind of push it a little bit, okay? So behavioral flexibility is what we're doing, okay? So the class will be December the 1st, 8 days, 10 to 6, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. You will get certified in neuro-linguistic programming. That's one. That's $625 to be a practitioner of neuro-linguistic programming. Great value, okay? You want a second certification, timeline therapy, works great. That's where we remove all the baggage, all the way to the root cause. Timeline therapist, we will certify you. That's $625, okay? And then hypnotic language is very important, to know how to reframe the words. Every word has a meaning, and to be able to put metaphors together and learn that hypnotic language, okay? Very, very crucial. Boom, you're a certified hypnotherapist, okay? And then finally, on the last day, what kind of coach are you? Do you want to do business? Do you want to do personal coaching? Do you want to coach executives? You can coach all people. How do you get your business up and running? How do you pop right into business as an entrepreneur? Prosperity on point, that's the last day to become a certified coach. It's like getting 4 degrees, 4 certifications for $2,500. That's about 50% or more compared to all the other NLP training companies. NLP Excellence Training Academy, NLP Excellence Academy. Okay, I don't know what our phone number is. I think it is 775. I don't know. Just go to NLP Excellence Academy page, you will find it. So that training is on December 1st. Mention the NLP Power Hour and the $5,200 course for $2,500. We will give you an additional $500 off. So for $2,000, if you're looking to upskill yourself, if you're looking to reinvent yourself, if you're looking to give yourself job security in the job, if you're looking for a way to make money on the side, if you're looking for just personal development, okay, go to the webpage, subscribe to our newsletter, mention NLP, and to have a career where we actually teach you how to start making money right away for $2,000 is unheard of. Okay, and that is my gift to you for being loyal audience out there. Thank you, everybody. Good night. See you next week, possibly.
All right.